Previously on BJ Fletcher, Private Eye.
That's not his address.
It's not the gallery's address either.
I'll just meet up with you guys later. You know when her and Jenna moved to England.
So when do you leave?
2 weeks. Steal! She obviously came over here earlier. She tore through the whole place.
Looks like he was planning to sell one of the gallery's collections to a private buyer for $3.1 million. We need to find 2 older women willing to stealthologically go undercover in our stead. She leaves in less than 2 weeks. I can't believe she didn't even tell me.
Maybe you can still tell her how you feel.
No, I can't ruin things for her. She's obviously happy with Jenna.
And what makes you think she wouldn't be happier with you?
So, do you have children, Mrs. Cooper?
He's married to an odious woman. Sometimes I think she's trying to work him into an early grave so she can live off his benefits.
What if Mrs. Kinsey knows about the $1 million deal that Frank is planning? What if she intends to kill him after the deal is done and make off with the loot? Nice work, George. Looks like Mrs. Kinsey took out an insurance policy on Frank worth $2 million.
Why would she hire us to find him if she was just going to murder him when we did?
I think we have to stake out Frank's art deal tomorrow night. At least we'll know he'll be there. And if Mrs. Kinsey shows up to murder him, we'll know that I was right.
Fine. But we do need to be finished by 8 because I have Jenna's farewell dinner from work and she will kill me if I'm late.
Sorry, I'm not letting George on my side. We have dinner in an hour and a half.
Can I see some kind of ID?
We're from the Federal Pesticides and Toxic Materials Investigations Unit. If we don't contain this immediately, it's going to turn into a exploding 398. Are we going to debate about this? Call it in. I wonder if Steele is here. Who?
Oh, the PI that the gallery hired to find Frank.
Oh, yes, when they double-crossed you and then ditched you once she got all the information she needed. Ladies.
Who are you?
We were hired to find Frank Kinsey.
Missing? Frank? He's been out of town arranging a new exhibit for the gallery. The negotiations were very hush-hush.
Then why did you hire a private investigator to find him?
We never hired any investigator.
Well, Mrs. Kinsey said...
Katerina, she was just here.
The only people that knew were you and us and Steele. Where is Mrs. Kinsey now?
I sent her down the road to our shipping warehouse where Frank is.
Oh my God, Fletch, maybe there's still time.
Double time it, sister, that's wrong. Christ. Mr. Kinsey? Mr. Kinsey? Mr. Kinsey? Shit. Is he dead? I don't know. I don't want to touch him. Oh, I don't want to touch him either. You won't mind. He's dead.
We have to call the police.
Don't worry. I can handle this.
We have to call the police right now.
They've already been called.
My name's Detective Morris. You are Beatrix Jane Fletcher of,
I got nothing to say to you, copper.
I think it's in your best interest to cooperate with police in this matter. A man's been found dead.
I haven't even seen a dead body before. Well, unless you count like when you're driving down the highway and sometimes you see a big accident, you think to yourself, oh my God, there are so many dead bodies there. But you know what? That's a completely different situation.
And can you corroborate that BJ Fletcher is indeed a private investigator?
Never seen a license, really, but yeah.
And how did you become involved with the Kinseys,
I told you, Mrs. Kinsey hired us to find her husband.
who was apparently dead when you found him?
Murdered. Although we didn't do it.
Oh, that's right. You suspect your client of the murder.
Oh yeah, she had murder in her eyes from the first moment we met her. You ever seen the movie Dolores Claiborne?
She just didn't seem the type. She just seemed like a woman who wanted to get out of a bad relationship. But then when we found those insurance papers, well.
And was that after your break and enter on the Kinsey property?
Technically, nothing got broken.
Listen, Fletcher couldn't investigate her way out of a wet paper bag. She certainly is not capable of murder.
And can you explain to me why Mrs. Kinsey would have hired an additional PI, this Sam Steele, to ascertain the whereabouts of her husband when she'd already hired your firm?
Is Detective Magnum here?
No.
Will he be back anytime soon?
Well, if she intended to murder him, well, maybe she was just trying to cover her tracks. Maybe Sam Steele isn't a PI at all. Maybe she was more of an accomplice, I'd say.
How much longer is this going to be?
There's a dead body. You were found at the scene, and all you can give me is suspicions of a murderous wife and some mystery accomplice who, quite frankly, I have doubts exists at all. What's the connection? Seems to me that you were the PIs who led her straight to him, and perhaps you even took care of it yourselves.
Spare me the technical mumbo-jumbo, detective.
Look, I know how this all seems to you, but you just have to believe me. I can't go to jail. I don't write poetry. I don't smoke cigarettes. I don't lift weights. I'm going to be bored stiff in there.
I can't believe we're being treated this way after all the work we did on that big drop bust and taking down the entire mob.
Are you on drugs right now, Miss Fletcher?
I've often said Fletcher should be on drugs. Heavy ones.
Look, I don't know the connection between Mrs. Kinsey and Sam Steele. Why don't you just ask them yourself?
Do I have feelings for George? Well, I mean, definitely not. I mean, how is that relevant to this case?
I didn't ask you that, Miss Fletcher.
Oh.
Listen, detective, this has all been a great misunderstanding.
Detective, a word?
George.
The initial coroner's report is back. Seems Frank Kinsey died of natural causes.
Heart attack.
For the moment, you and your friends are free to go.
Oh, thank God. Oh, thank you, Mrs. Detective.
You know, you seem to have a pretty good head on your shoulders, Miss Drew. Your partner, however, is a bit of a liability.
What did you just say?
Your partner, Fletcher, she's a liability.
I've come to learn that you can only really rely on yourself. Partners are liability.
Well, in my experience, you can really only rely on yourself. Partners are a liability.
I don't know why he married her in the first place. I mean, it's not as if the child was his. She gave it away anyway.
Thank you, Detective. And just for the record, Fletch is a lot smarter than people give her credit for.
I can't tell you how sorry I am about your little run-in with the police.
Run-in? We were hauled downtown, booked and interrogated for hours. They searched places I didn't know I had.
Fletch.
What?
That's not the point.
Right. So, were you planning on murdering your husband yourself, or were you going to have your daughter do it?
Excuse me?
Sam Steele is your daughter, isn't she?
Well, I don't see how that's relevant. Look, ladies, I don't know what information you think you have, but I can assure you that I did not murder my husband.
Yeah, but you were planning to, weren't you?
Oh, please. Frank killed himself. The man ate red meat at every meal. You just don't do that.
Well, it's no secret that your marriage was over.
Well, no, I told you that myself.
So you admit it. You're not sorry that he's diseased.
Deceased.
Deceased. Don't deny it.
Don't deny what? I'm not denying anything.
Another denial.
Fletch.
Look, ladies, I don't know what you think you know, but I can assure you that you have no idea of what life was like with Frank.
Well, we're listening.
Everything changed when we moved back from Athens.
Ah, Athens. J'adore Italian food.
Frank came into my life at a time when there was nowhere else to turn. It's the same old story. Girl meets boy, girl gets pregnant, girl meets other boy, Frank. He promises her a perfect life if she gives up the child. With no other choice, she does, only to realize that life is anything but perfect and full of regrets. The story's so old it could have been written to music long ago.
So, when did you go from helpless victim to cold, calculated killer?
I did not kill my husband.
But you were planning to. Oh, we know about the insurance policy. You had your daughter follow us so that you could be tipped off to his whereabouts first, giving you enough time to murder him and then have us conveniently arrive on the scene to discover the body.
Yeah, and then you knew that we would have to tell the cops that you hired us to find him. And then you would have the perfect alibi to completely rid you of suspicion.
That is absurd.
Is it? And what about the night of wild, unbridled sex I had with your daughter? Was that all part of the plan, too? Oh, you didn't know about that? Never mind.
Look, ladies, my husband had a weak heart. End of story. And now my daughter and I can finally start a new life together. I realize that you couldn't possibly understand what it's like to have to give up the one person you love more than anything in the world. But I do hope that you will give us this little bit of peace in our lives. Now, you'll find that this more than covers your fees. Good afternoon. Meaning, get out.
Now that was a lovely ceremony. Wasn't that a lovely ceremony? Oh, I'm so proud of you, Georgie. Mwah.
Yeah, I can't believe I finally graduated.
Well, you worked hard for it. You sure deserve it. Doesn't she, Fletch?
Absolutely.
Look, Ma, you still got those suitcases for me?
Oh, honey, if you can find it. Look down in the basement, behind all those boxes, you know. But be careful of the silverfish. You know what it's like down there.
I know.
You know, the creepy crawlies.
Okay, look, you wait here. I'll be right back.
All right. I sure hope you're going to come by and visit me after Georgie leaves for England. I'm going to be some lonesome.
Me too.
You just going to let her go then?
Why wouldn't I? This is a big opportunity for her.
Well, yeah, there's lots of opportunities here.
She could stay if she wanted to stay. She wants to go. She wants to be with Jenna.
Oh, Fletch. You're a sweet kid. Not too smart, though.
What do you mean?
You know what I mean, kiddo.
Look, as the old saying goes, if you hold a bird in your hand gently, the bird will stay. But if you squeeze that bird, its eyes will bug out and make the most horrible sound.
You almost had me there, honey.
George made her choice. She didn't even tell me about it till the last minute.
Well, so what? You're punishing her? You know, maybe she thought she wouldn't have to tell you. Maybe she thought that you'd give her a reason to stay.
I don't want to mess things up for her. She's better off with Jenna. Jenna makes her happy.
Oh, honey. You make her happy.
All right, Ma, I found one right on the top.
Oh, goody.
Okay, come on, stop chatting. Let's go. I gotta finish packing and we got some work to do.
Oh.
Look, Ma, thanks for coming with me today. I love you so much.
Oh, I love you too, Mom. Oh.
Yeah, and look, I'm gonna come and visit you on Wednesday before we go, okay?
Okay. Okay. But do me a favor when you get home. Now, just promise me you're going to go through every little zipper and everything in here because those silverfish, they crawl into every nook and cranny.
Yeah, Mom.
I'm telling you, I'm not lying.
know. Okay,
Listen,
I love you.
I love you too, honey. But Fletch, do me a favor. Take her hair done. Just check on the side because you never know inside there. Oh, I love you. Listen, everybody. Today, my girl graduated. Yes, sir. There she is right there, my little Georgia. I love you, Chipmunk. Bye-bye, Fletch.
Did you get it? Oh yeah, cheating wife, case closed.
Hello, Beatrix.
Doyle!
Lewis?
George! Call security, call security!
Why'd you have to set off the alarm? Did you have to make this more difficult?
How could I have known it would go off when I opened it?
It said on it, alarm will sound.
Every door says that, George. Besides, who cares? I got the pictures. Wicked awesome. Now tell me you aren't gonna miss this.
I'm gonna miss you.
I can miss you too, George. Hey, Magnum. Yep. Yeah, I took them to the airport a few hours ago. Yeah, they're probably in the air by now. Yeah. No, I ordered a pizza. I'm just gonna stay in. I'm fine. Magnum, I'm fine. No. Listen, the pizza's here. I gotta go. Yeah, I'll call you tomorrow. Yeah, I promise. Okay, bye. Finally. Jenna?
Fletcher.
What are you doing here?
Is she here?
Who?
Fletcher, I'm not in the mood for games.
What are you talking about?
George, is she here?
Isn't she with you?
No. She disappeared at the airport.
Disappeared? Do you think it was the mob?
No, nothing like that. She was upset. I don't know. She said she couldn't leave yet. She said she left some business unfinished.
What?
I don't know.
Well, you better come in then.
I mean, maybe she forgot to feed the cat.
She doesn't have a cat. Hey, Magnum. Yep. No, I took them to the airport a few hours ago. Yeah, they're probably in the air by now. No, I'm fine. No, I ordered a pizza. I'm just gonna stay in tonight. Yeah, I'm fine. It's fine. Listen, I gotta go. The pizza's here. I gotta go. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Okay, bye. Finally. Steele. Murdered any relatives lately?
The day's not over yet.
So, what do you want?
Well, that's not very polite. The least you could do is invite me in.
What for?
Well, you said you wanted to show a junior PI the ropes. I thought we could start with the triple salt cowl and go from there.
All right, let's roll. Hey, Magnum. Yeah? Yeah, I dropped them off a couple hours ago. They're probably in the air by now. No, I'm just gonna stay in tonight. I ordered a pizza. No, I'm fine. Yeah. Magnum, I'm fine. Listen, I gotta go. The pizza's here. Yeah, I'll call you tomorrow. Okay? Keep change. George?
I couldn't go.
What about Jenna?
She went.
George? I can make you happy.
Fletch. You do make me happy.
Weird?
No.
Wicked awesome.